Hi there, I'm Tammy Short, and with me today are two of the members from the Midwest team, and we want to talk a little bit about things that have happened in 2020, how we had to pivot and change almost everything about the way we do business. And I think we're far enough along in 2021 that we're continuing to see those changes happen and occur, changes in legislation and whatnot. So with me today is Dan, and Dan, I'm going to let you talk a little bit, and then you can hand it over to Marc.
Great, thank you, Tammy. Certainly, we know that a lot has been done in terms of change of how we conduct business because of the pandemic. With vaccines becoming more widespread, with lockdowns being lifted, obviously we're going to be moving back to something of a new normal environment. One of the allowances that we were given in Illinois to accommodate the circumstances was the remote online notary ability, which was done only through executive order. We do not have a statute. So this means we're going to have to move back to some other manner of conducting things. So Marc, would you like to just maybe cover a little bit in terms of what we need to think about?
Sure. I think it's important at this point to start thinking about, obviously we all know how things have changed and what we've done through the pandemic and the transition to work from home, remote, everything. So it is thinking about how we're going to get back to some sense of normalcy. And along with that, we have to start thinking about remote online notarization and where that stands in Illinois. Obviously, like you said, we've got an executive order that's expiring. So it's something that we really need to think about as agents and underwriters and what we can do for our customers to make them feel comfortable. So yeah, as we're getting back into this and things start opening up a little bit more, yeah, it really is important to think about these types of things.
Excellent. Well, the other change that's taken place in Illinois certainly is not pandemic related, but certainly was coincident with the pandemic, and that was the full legalization of cannabis and what that means for the title insurance and settlement industry. At present time, there are 16 states that have full legalization. There are only 6 that have where it's still fully illegal. So this is a trend that's happening. It's a business that's here to stay. It represents a tax revenue source for states. So we know it's going to be here for going forward. However, there are some problems with that with regard to handling transactions and closing transactions. And there are a couple of pieces of legislation that are proposed federally that might address this. And Marc, would you like to speak to those pieces of legislation?
Sure. This is going to be interesting to see as well. And it really is, as we're talking about transitions, it's a good time for this legislation to actually go through, which I fully do expect to happen within the next year. So it's just something else that we're going to have to adjust to. But the Safe Banking Act and now the Claim Act. So it'll be really interesting to see what those what happens with those in the legislature. But it's going to be great for our industry, and it's really going to, as the name suggests, provide some clarity with respect to insuring these transactions. Obviously, as of right now, there's a lot of trepidation in terms of insuring these transactions, but we also have a lot of question as to whether we can even close them. A lot of questions come up of, can we handle escrow funds? What's going to happen with these funds if they're seized? Just a lot of questions that have come up that hopefully this legislation really is going to clarify. And so I think it's something that is good to start thinking about as well as we are moving forward and making these adjustments. This is just another piece of it that we have to adjust to. So it'll be nice. It'll be good to see how it turns out.
Exactly. Well, and we also know that Leader Schumer in the Senate has indicated that he does intend on moving forward with these acts. So I think it's something that we should watch and pay attention to. But anyway, we've obviously got change. Our industry is used to that. We adjust all the time to things. So these are just a couple more things to adjust to. So hopefully that's helpful to our viewers. So thank you.